I'm Kim Gillespie. I've been a director for 40 years and I'm going to use the next few videos to give you some tips and hints about what a director is, where a director comes from and how to develop your work as a director. They're short seminars, very short seminars, and what I'm going to do now on part one is to give you an indication of where my work has come from, why I feel qualified to be able to give you tips and hints about how to be a director. So say I've been a director for 40 years or so. I started as an actor, but I soon found that with acting there was a kind of ceiling to the way in which I wanted to express myself artistically and creatively. And maybe I just wasn't very good at it. As a director, I felt that I'd found a place in that artistic world, and there was a good foundation, a good basis for the work that I wanted to do. I still respect actors, or the work of actors, of course, and it's probably because I respect the work of actors and how much work they do that I kind of took a different route and decided to become a director. So I've had a very wide range of directing over the years, and that's partly because I've never been established in a building. I've never been an artistic director of a building-based company. I've led touring theatre companies, and I've been an artistic director of my own companies, but that's given me the opportunity to act freelance and be a freelance director. So I've taken work in from a very wide range of companies and people and places. I mean, that ranges from classical theatre and Shakespeare and naturalism through to very innovative and contemporary work, some of which I've developed from my own context and my own writing. And later on we'll talk about the way in which your own writing can be a basis for your directing vision or your directing work, because there has to be that very wide range of work to be able to carry on working as a director. So I've done a very wide range of stuff through to those areas, very traditional work. I've worked with a pro-am company, in other words amateurs, an am-dram company working together with professional actors. I've worked in large scale theatre, small scale site-specific theatre, community theatre, village halls, and applied theatre. So and applied theatre means that I've done a lot of corporate training and a lot of theatre, applied theatre to individuals and groups that haven't got that background in drama or theatre. So you can see that what I've tended to do is work very widely, and as I said earlier, that's an expression of being a freelancer and having to take that work in and wanting to take that work in so that I develop a particular CV, so to speak. So that kind of leads to more work of a particular kind. That doesn't mean I haven't got a particular vision of what I would want. I don't adapt and change all of my methods to every kind of theatre context I find myself in. There are certain rules, and those rules are they come from my own interests. They come from my interest in choreographic theatre, or from movement, or from the geometry of the space, you might call it. So we'll talk about how that aesthetic develops later on in other parts, in other seminars. I also want to talk about a little bit about the history of directing and where directors come from. I'll talk about major practitioners in directing, you know, the major directors of the last 100 years or so, and how they've influenced both my work and will go on to influence your work, and they've influenced directing generally. And then I'll talk in terms of what we need to do to lead a project, in other words, how to know your group, how to work initially with a group of actors, and talk about what ensemble directing means and how to bring actors into your particular method. So hopefully over the next few seminars you'll find something that interests you and some tips, hints that will carry you forward and give you a starting point as a director.